So in this video, I'm going to give you guys a behind the scenes look at a recent production I was a part of. On this job, I was hired as a grip and a gaffer, as well as a camera op. I also had with me my 1-ton grip and lighting package. Also made some good progress on organizing the shop here. Thought I'd give you guys a little look. Try to keep all the Pelicans on this shelf. More Aputure stuff over there. Bunch of director's chairs. Long Pelican cases and other tripod cases. This is all just random soft cases. Then have my HMI cart, two HMI 1200s with ballast and lenses and head cables. I have another rock and roller cart here with a couple other headlamps. And then my innovative cart, I'm not bringing this to the job tomorrow because I won't need it for camera. And then there's my monitor solution that I was telling you guys about. I got a double header instead of the triple, and that works out pretty good. Then I have tripods. I'm gonna eventually maybe mount them somewhere as opposed to having them stand up like this, but I was just testing out some of my older tripods, making sure they're still working and don't need any sort of maintenance. I'm actually selling a few tripods as well. I'm going to try local first, and then if not, I'll put them on eBay. And if you guys want any used equipment on eBay, I'll link my profile in the description, but I'll be selling a bunch of stuff. Not just tripods, other lighting, a lot of my 4x I can't sell on eBay, they're just too big, so I'll probably try and sell those locally. As well as I have so many Kino fixtures. I have two Vista Beam 600s, a Diva 400, Parabeam 400, 4-foot gaffer kit there, another 4-foot gaffer kit there, and then I think I have another Diva 200 somewhere. So lots of Kinos that I'll try and sell locally. But yeah, so that's kind of what my morning is looking like, just getting everything organized. So they want to use a rolling book light, just being able to quickly move around the book light in different scenarios. So I'm going to build it on a rolling stand. Last time I did it, it wasn't on a rolling stand, so I just want to make sure that's going to work seamlessly before we get there tomorrow and we run into any issues. So I'm going to build that now and then just test it out, make sure it's working, and I'll keep you guys posted. Okay, here's an update. Rolling book light with the 6x6 Broca. I have a 600D. I'll probably use a 600X tomorrow. Then I have the Ultra Bounce, the ballast, the rolling stand. So everything is pretty portable for the most part. So the only other thing I'm going to try and do is I need to flag off some of this extra light. So I'm going to try and find some sort of solution to hang something over the top that's about even length. So I'll work on that now. Okay, so here it is here. I added it's like a black bed sheet almost. And it is not gonna cut the light out completely. It's not like Duvetine. I do have some Duvetine here in an 8x, but the Duvetine's too heavy compared to this. I'm afraid of putting too much pressure on this little knuckle that attaches to the 4x ultra bounce floppy. I don't want to overload that because that could easily break if you put too much weight on it. But yeah, so this is a good solution. Obviously, the bottom, we're just going to have to live with that. Or we can favor one side. Like if we don't want light to hit this wall, then we could easily just bring this curtain down to be flush with the ground. If we don't care about that side. So we do have an option there. But yeah, it's coming together pretty good. Like I said, it's on battery power right now. So I don't have it at full spot. It's only at like 25%. I did close my shop door so you can see it a little bit more. But yeah, it does give a nice soft glow. I'll probably have that at 100 if we're trying to fight windows and whatnot. But yeah, I think it's pretty good so far. I do need to add a sandbag just to weigh the bottom down as much as possible. And then when we do transport, I'll have to kind of maybe put a clip here. Don't want to have stuff dragging all over the place. But yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about this setup for tomorrow. So I'll keep you guys posted. See, this is the part I'm concerned about overloading too much, just because it is just welded. I'm assuming it's welded steel, but you never know. They don't have like payload capacity anywhere online that I've been able to find on what you can put on just a ultra bounce floppy. I'm sure I could call whoever makes this one. I think this is TRP or something, and figure out. Actually, this is Matthews. Never mind. I did have a TRP 4x4, but this is 40x40. But yeah, I'm assuming they might have that information if you call the manufacturer. I just haven't done that yet. So yeah, I don't want to overload this too much because you can kind of tell it's bowing a little bit. It's not as straight. So yeah, I'm trying to be mindful of that as well, because I don't want this thing to bust halfway through the shoot. That would be terrible. And I also have a 5-foot Dana dolly on the package tomorrow. I haven't used this thing in a while, so I'm just testing it out, making sure it's still smooth. Probably just clean these guys up a little bit, grease them, so that way we don't run into any issues tomorrow. Then right now I do have a 100mm ball with a Sackler Video 20 on there. Might be a little bit overkill depending on what camera we have. If it's like an FX6 or an FX3, this might be a little overkill, so I'm probably going to switch out the adapter for a 75mm and just use like this Manfrotto 504. I think that will do the trick, and that'll keep the weight down a little bit so it's not as heavy. And right now I just have the 5-foot, I just have 5-foot tube on this speed rail. That's the longest I have. I don't think we'll need more than 5 feet. That's a pretty good run. Depending on what we're doing. Anything more, I think you can get away with like 6 feet, maybe 7 feet, but anything more, you really have to have that center point of contact to hold it up in the middle so it doesn't bow. So that's why I like the 5-foot, because I feel like that's a good, just all around portable setup. We'll probably just keep this guy built and then just wheel it around location tomorrow. So yeah. This project was for my buddy Paul Huenfeld with Appalling Productions, and he was the one that hired me for this job. So to answer the question, does owning more equipment get you more work? I would say for me, yeah, it does. It's nice having all the equipment ready and available and not having to rent anything. And I feel like in today's day and age, in this market, everything is very competitive. I know coming from a much bigger market in LA, things were extremely competitive. And lots of DPs were adding camera packages into their day rate, and lots of grip and gaffers were adding LEDs into their day rate as well. Just trying to have an edge up on other competition and including extra things. It would be great to charge for every little piece of equipment used on every shoot, but just some budgets and some productions doesn't require that. I would love to standardize my rates and just have one rate, and this is what it's going to cost, but I feel like I've just never been able to do that. Every single job that comes my way, I always kind of assess, is this a big budget? Is this a small budget? I always try and find out what kind of budget are we talking about, and I kind of cater my project to that. If I'm extremely busy and it's a small budget, I just won't take it. But if things are very slow and it's a small budget, then I will take it and add in some equipment. I will add in cameras, I will add in lights, and I will just ask for a good day rate. So I don't think it's absolutely necessary to have equipment to make money, but I know for me, it just makes my life a little bit easier. Just after years and years of renting equipment and going to pick up equipment from local rental houses, that just eats up so much time. It's nice just being able to own all the kit that I want and then be able to use it for any sort of job that comes my way. And I know lots of people who don't want to own so much equipment, and that's where I say everyone is a little bit different. It just depends on what you want to do. I know for me, I have the space to have a lot of equipment, so I'm okay with that. I'm okay with having a bunch of equipment. Even if I don't use it regularly, I always know I have it in case a job comes up that requires it. So you have to make that decision for yourself. I would build up to it as opposed to just putting $50,000 on a credit card to get new stuff. I've been working at this for 15 plus years, buying and selling and just trying to build a package that I feel like would be really appealing to local production houses, local creative agencies, and other people in the industry. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you think it's necessary to own a bunch of equipment to get more work, or do you think just relying on your expertise? I know everyone's a little bit different in how they approach this, but I'm just being honest with you guys. This is how I like doing it. Obviously, there's some jobs that I work where I can charge for every single little cable, and I do rely on a lot of that to supplement some of the jobs where I don't charge an arm and a leg for everything. So I feel like for me, there's a good balance, and it just kind of evens out throughout the year. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. So I'm trying out these new filters. They're magnetic by Freewell. Most of the time I'm using like a matte box with my cameras, but there's been a few occasions where I can't use a matte box because I'm shooting through a teleprompter. The matte box that I'm using is pretty big and it won't fit inside a teleprompter hood. So this is my idea of taking off the matte box whenever I have to shoot through teleprompter and using something like this, because if you use a Sony FX3, this is my main camera, doesn't have built-in ND like a FX6 or even a FS5. So I need some sort of way to add some ND to it. So this is where I think this would really work well for me, is whenever I have to shoot through a teleprompter, just being able to quickly swap out ND. There's even a circular polarizer and a UV in the kit. And honestly, I can just do this with one hand. They literally just stack in. And this little lens cover too, that's pretty nice. And I don't know if you're like me, but whenever I screw on lens filters, I just never put a lens cap on. Just sometimes getting the right diameter doesn't really work out. But it's nice that they included this little lens cap that's part of the system. And these magnets are super strong too. I was like kind of surprised on how strong they were. I don't feel like they're gonna fall off or anything. So yeah, this is pretty nice. I still have to do a lot of testing on it, but so far I really like this system too. Honestly, who needs a innovative cart when you have a laundry hamper for $200-300? This thing can hold way more than my innovative cart. Just don't try and go over cracks with these little caster wheels. Also, someone commented why I'm wearing gloves. It's because it's 30 degrees where I live right now. Doesn't look like it, but if you go into the shade, you'll see that it's frozen. Can't tell, but it's white. Tell a little bit better right there. So yeah, that's why I wear gloves, because it's 30 degrees outside. And if you've ever touched a cold C stand, you know the pain